Hi. So now let us see the next definition, very important one, that is attribute. Okay. So what is meaning of an attribute? So this is not big thing actually. So we might already seen that. So what is meaning of an attribute? Attribute describe the property of an entity actually. Describes the property of an entity. So it is simply like a column name. No, we don't have much discussion. So like try to understand in a simple manner. In a table, as we've seen already that in a table where it is a set of rows, set of columns. So columns we are calling as a attributes, rows we are calling as a tuples. That's it. So that is what the attribute column name we are calling as an attribute. That is what one property, right? Name is one property. We are going to have set of characters. Salary is one another property. So like that, every column we are calling as a attribute in the database terminology. Okay, technically we are calling. Now it is we are going to represent with vowel shape actually. Attributes we are going to represent with vowel shape. Okay, so let us see another definition with for better understanding. That is key attribute. So a key attribute is nothing but primary key. So, or if you see more deeply, candidate key. So a key attribute can uniquely identify an entity from an entity set actually. So as we discussed, entity is nothing but a set of entities. So those set of entities we are calling as one table. So every row you must identify uniquely, right? So to identify uniquely, one column, that means one attribute you have to select as a key attribute. So one attribute is nothing but what actually, one attribute or set of attributes actually. So that is what primary key. So that we are calling as a key attribute. Okay. So now if you see here, student. So this student is actually an entity as we discussed already earlier. And it is going to have, for example, roll number, name, age, address. So first of all, what we discussed, this is the attribute, right? So these are all the attributes in this relation, in this student actually, entity. So these four attributes are there. Now, as name implies here, the definition, key attribute. So roll number, name, age, address. Every student, these four things are going to be there. So if you select a key attribute as name, there may be two students with same name. And age, of course, same age. Address, duplicate values are possible for all these three attributes. But the roll number is what actually, for every student, we are going to give unique roll number. So there is no duplicate roll numbers for two students. So that is why roll number is going to become key attribute. For the key attributes, we are going to give the underline. Out of all attributes for an entity, which one is the key attribute? Whichever attribute have the underline, that is going to become key attribute actually. So simple discussion. Okay. So which key attribute you are identifying uniquely, that attribute you are going to differentiate with other attributes by giving underline. So that is simple discussion. And then after that, we have another definition, that is simple attribute. So this is very simple. So you can see the meaning, an attribute which cannot be divided into simple components actually. So that means further division is not possible. For example, age is there. Age further you cannot divide actually. Okay. So age means for every student only one value will be there. Maybe 20, 18, 19, 21 basing on their date of birth. So that's it, simple attribute. Further division is not possible. Or to understand this meaning, let us go for the next definition, that is composite attribute. If you understand this, this is going to become simple. So what is meaning of composite attribute is attribute that is combination of other attributes. So what does it mean? You can see from this diagram. If you take the address part, address is actually further you can divide like a state, country, pin. So further you can divide actually. So that is what composite attribute. Or if you see the name, So name, if you see, first name will be there. Is it? This is a one attribute, and middle name will be there. Is it or not? Middle name and last name will be there. So that is what further division is possible here. So that is what composite attribute. Name is a composite attribute, address is a composite attribute. But now roll number is only one value, only further division is not possible. Age is further division is not possible. So these two are going to become simple attributes. Name is going to become composite attribute, and address, of course, composite attribute. So that is what now these three definitions, and the remaining definitions we will see in the next lecture. So here we see the meaning of the attribute. So simply a column name, and what is key attribute and how to differentiate in the diagram. That is, whoever have the underline, that is going to become key attribute. Simple attribute, further division not possible. Composite attribute, further division is possible. So here name and address are the composite attributes actually. Okay.